Heather, welcome to Diver Dave tutorial. Today you will learn how to use Diver Dave. On a different day you will learn how to use the regular vacuum. So for the very first step is if the pool is not on, if it is not circulating, then you will need to go down the stairs and turn on the pump at the panel. And I will show you where that is. So if you notice, the panel is right here. There's three panels: main panel, sub panel, and there's your pool panel. All you do is push the button right there, open it up just a little bit so the card doesn't fall out. And without touching any other wires, you just want to take the on button and push it in the down position. I'll catch up with you later by the pool. Okay, if you have managed to follow directions and not electrocuted yourself, you should find yourself in this vicinity. Pool and the pump. First thing you want to do is remove anything from the pool that might have sunk to the bottom due to lack of cleanup on behalf of our lovely children. Brief scan, I see nothing but green. As you can see, Diver Dave is wrapped up in a ball right here. Now it's very important that you unravel Diver Dave the best you can prior to putting him in the pool. The hose is going to want to kink. When you start pulling on the hose, and if there's any water remaining in the hose will come apart. So what I suggest is that you completely unravel the hose around the width of the pool and then pick up at our next step. As you can see, Diver Dave has been stretched around the circumference of the pool by my lovely assistant, Carly. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a step over here. We're going to see the hose does fall around. The hose did come apart. However, we were able to manage to put it back together. Now, as you can hear, the filter has been turned off, utilizing that switch right there in the downward position. Our next step is to come in here and look at the skimmer basket. This is something that should be done on a regular basis, with or without Diver Dave. I would expect that you and or the children would go in here and empty the skimmer first and foremost. That basket at the very bottom does need to come out. Okay, to the best of my ability, I have removed all the creatures from here. Once I emptied the skimmer basket, I continued to put the skimmer basket in and try and pull out everything I possibly could. Now, if we were using the regular pool vacuum and not Diver Dave, you would have left the basket in here after removing all the bugs from it. That way, anything you capture through the vacuum would get trapped in the basket. Also, if we were using the vacuum, you would have removed this door using these two triggers for here and here by actually pinching them in and pulling the door out. You want to make sure that you have all the bugs and everything out of there before doing that, otherwise they will float back into the pool. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the intake hose and we're going to turn on the pool and fill this up with water. You want to make sure that the entire hose is in the pool and that Diver Dave is sunk in the pool. So you're going to push him down until the bubbles start coming out of him. The very first thing though I'm going to do before this is I am going to backwash the filter. That way we'll have removed any green that's in the filter right now, and then we're going to backwash again once Diver Dave is complete. So in order to do that, we are going to switch the handle by pushing down and putting it to backwash. You're then going to turn on the filter for approximately 20 seconds and then watch as the outtake goes from green to clear. Right now the outtake is clear, but you will see it switch to a nasty green in a second. And there we go. Okay, once you're satisfied with your backwashing, you want to turn the pump off and you want to go ahead and switch it over to rinse. Not sure what it does, but it's a pretty important step. Turn the filter back on. I'd say let it run for about 10 seconds, or at least until you start to see all the water coming through is 100% clear. Once it's 100% clear, we know that we are done rinsing, and then you can just go ahead and turn the filter right back off. Once it's turned off, you switch it back to filter. It's about done here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to the filter. We're going to make sure that it's on filter, and you're going to turn the filter in the on position. Now you're going to take the hose right here, make sure that the entire hose is in the pool, and you're going to put it right near the output, and you're going to fill it up with water. You'll see Diver Dave shoot back up to the top. It means he's getting all his air out of the line, and he should technically sink back down once the water has made its way through. If he doesn't sink back down, just do your best to fill up the hose and walk over there and push him down. Okay, I've turned the pool filter back on. The hose is full of water. Diver Dave is in the pool, and we're just going to quickly get this in this position and get it in there real quick before you don't want to hear that noise. So we'll come down here. You can hear the pump kind of struggling a little bit, but you still see that there is water in there. As long as we hear the water, we know that something's happening. I'm going to leave this running so you can hear the struggling. You can see water coming out of there. And we are operational. Diver Dave, the water is very cloudy, but he is moving under there. Make sure that you continue to check him about every half hour or so. Make sure he's not on his side or he hasn't floated out of the pool, because that will burn out the motor. Okay, our next step is to actually hook up the hose that's now full of water into the skimmer basket. This is a really one of the most important steps. When the filter's running, this door is going to want to flop in and stay closed. So you're going to have to very quickly, when the filter's running, you want to scoop this under the door and get it right into that hole. Once it's in the hole, you need to come down here and you need to make sure that there is water running through here. If you see nothing but air and bubbles, it should be okay for the first couple seconds, as long as you hear that the water wants to come in. Give it a little bit of time. If the water comes in, then you're fine. If you don't see the water come in and you start to see it just completely dissipate, you need to stop, you need to restart, put water back in the hose, and go through the whole cycle all over again. Otherwise, you could burn out the motor. So as you can see, we have success. It has made it into the water. Diver Dave is swimming around there. So the very last thing you want to do is you want to make sure that when you are done, you turn the filter off, then you pull Diver Dave out of the pool. If you don't follow those directions, it's going to start to pull in air and the pump will burn out. So that's my tutorial. If you have any questions, you know where to reach me. But first, I recommend you do watch the video several times before you ask your questions, because I'm sure I have covered it. Till then, sayonara.